salute to the way he's been handling it as well. Big kudos, big props to him. Shout out Kalen Deboer, K-Dog, Ryan Grubb. It was a fair competition. You know, I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan as well. So you know how piss poor the competition was over there around yonder. If you know, you know. So respect, shout out, salute to Kalen Deboer, Ryan Grubb, and staff for making it a real fair competition. You hear me? That was very important. It was very important that they choose the right quarterback for the job. Now, Austin Mack definitely was in a battle. Austin Mack definitely talented. You know, K-Dog could have showed much favoritism to him, right? In the system, more than Keelan Russell. He could have played politics a little bit. No, hell no. He said it would be a fair competition across the board, and it was exactly that. And the best man wins. Joe in the building. Joe with the snow Biden in the building. Joe with the snow Biden in the building. What up, brother? Roll Tide. Roll Tide full of pride, man. Let's get it. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. Let's rock. Joe say first. Shout out Joe, man. But he didn't pick a side per se. They competed, they battled, boom, Keelan Russell was the quarterback. But the way he can scramble and be elusive in the pocket, it's always a chance of a big play with him. Like I said earlier, a play always has a chance with him at your quarterback one position. But Keelan Russell's someone who has came a long way. Learned a lot about him. His leadership, stepped up as a leader, on the field play, knowledge of the game, controlling the game, right? Directing the team per se, being a real field general. So he's definitely stepped his game up. Now can he continue to grow, keep his mind right, etc. This is just the beginning right now. But he is the QB1 for Bama. A lot of people dream to be the quarterback one for Bama. And majority believe that Bama made the right choice, got it right. I do too. You know, I do too. I feel like the separation was probably the athletic ability, the big playmaking ability from anytime, anywhere on the field. But Austin Mack is no slouch himself. Strong arm, cannon for an arm, big dude, tall dude. He'll get his chance, his opportunity someday. But Keelan Russell just is the better man. Holding in the building. What up, brother? Roll Tide full of pride. Roll Tide. Let's get it, man. Oh, yeah. Yes, and K-Dog even said it. Both guys improved. Both guys put in work. It could have really went either way, but certain things edged it out for Keelan Russell. And he didn't go real detail into it, but you pretty much know, you pretty much can take a guess. Like I say, Keelan Russell has a chip on his shoulder, per se. You know, you think he doesn't think about his sister, want to perform well for his sister, right? And of course, prove the haters, the doubters wrong as well. I mean, he has a chance to make history for Bama. Say he made history as the quarterback for Alabama, right? Not too many can say that. That's legendary status, right? Championship status. Forever remembered jersey hanging status, man, for real. You know, all the big Bama moments. We could see Keelan Russell right in there, up there, hanging on the picture, painted on a picture in a big Bama moment. But I'm sure it's much bigger than football for him. You know, he really got something to play for, someone to play for. You think he gonna let it slide, let it ride? You don't think he gonna take full advantage of the opportunity? I guarantee he will. See no more The more camp goes along and stories start coming out, you learn more and more about certain players. Like I say, no one really knew too much about Keelon Russell. You saw some flashes on the field when he got some may say garbage time, but playing time when the game was totally a blowout done. So you knew the talent was there, just like you knew the talent was there for Mac. Russell had something a little different. He brings something a little different to this offense. And I'm going to get into the video in a minute, but Kalen Deboer, K-Dog, pretty much said it. He's excited to see what he can do within this offense. And then the way Ryan Grubb coaches, his aggressiveness. And hopefully he incorporates the run game more this year, but don't let your foot off the gas either, Ryan Grubb. I know everybody talking about, hey, run game, run the ball. That's cool. That's a fact. We need that, right? Big facts, no cap. We must have a run game. We must play murder ball. But don't force the run. Be you, do you, right? Don't be influenced by the media and the fans too much, you know. Yeah, that like the great Nick Saban used to say, don't pay attention to the rat poison. Because it's gonna be a lot out there. But it don't it don't matter what's going on the exterior, what's going on the interior of Bama. Is it a real brotherhood, real chemistry, real cohesion? I mean, I'm talking about we 3 years in now. K-Dog should have them boys ready. It should be a real chemistry there. The offense and defense should look damn near perfect to a certain extent, right? Right. So we're going to see real quickly and swiftly, man, what, 11 days? I repeat, 11 days. Bama ball is back officially in 11 days. Man, ECU better get ready to break them, shake them, bake them. You hear me? Take their soul, take their will early, man, for real. Come out hitting on all cylinders straight up. But see, Keelon Russell gives you the ability, gives any offense the ability to be hitting on all cylinders out the gate. You can improvise so much with him, do so much with him. RPO, running back option, quarterback option, boom, bring it back, deep ball downfield, bam, touchdown for Bucktown. Fake run, they don't know, keep the defense on their heels. Always play action. Is it a QB keep? Is it a halfback draw? Play action, roll out, boom. And side note, I hope we see some I formation this year, Ryan Grubb. A lot more single back this year, right? Ryan Grubb. You want to preach and teach real physicality. Create a scheme that exudes real physicality and aggression and violence, man. You know? That's what's lacking the most consistently, right? Violence. We've seen it from the defense, but the offense, you know, we need more. We need way more. Even the defense has to be more consistent. Kane Womack done said it a million times. He want to see effort on a more consistent basis, violence on a more consistent basis, right? Discipline on a more consistent basis. So we're gonna really see what it's about. So let me get into one article first, then I'm gonna get into the video. Matter of fact, now we're gonna start with Deboer, just get Deboer out the way. Let's get to it, man. Hold up. Keelon Russell is your QB1. Tell me, how do you feel for real? Got some other news to get into as well. Injury updates, etc. Get to it, man.
Guys, and we had 2 good practices again. I think we've just consistently, had this kind of trend with our team. Energy, attitude, try to find those areas that we need to improve, and the guys being very intentional and addressing it. Went in the stadium yesterday, got some good work, trying to, with so many new players, make sure that that's our home territory, that's our home base, and that they're comfortable, and it's a familiar setting for them. So that was our 4th time during camp, and that'll be our last. But today, just a ton of situations, and it's really for a lot of those times are the end of the moment, end of the game types of things. And, you got to have quarterback offense on the same page, but then the defense can see what an offense would do against you. And we were great in those moments last year. And so, we had a great mindset going in, a lot of learning, but it was still a physical practice because that's what we got to make sure of this week, that we don't drop off a year ago for different reasons.
Got to be physical, got to stay physical. You heard what he said right there. Make sure they don't drop off from last year. Physicality, most important right now.
Reasons, some injuries, and just other guys getting excessive reps because of injuries. Just the speed of things tailed off about this time. And, we just want to do everything we can to make sure that doesn't happen. Our guys, again, are being very intentional.
How did you tell Kalen this?
Yeah, well, we've always, I guess, I don't say always, because there's been a lot of meetings with quarterback competitions. I think there's been 12 or 13 I've been a part of. But I like to do it where they're both together. And so both guys are hearing the same thing. And Coach Grubb and Coach Ellis and myself, spending that time with them and just, making that announcement then. And, I think the thing I really wanted to tell those guys is that the way they've handled this point would hopefully be the same way they handle it moving forward. They've done it with class. I've seen, I really haven't been a part of it too much because I think we've handled it well over the years as a staff. And then again, the integrity of your players and the first class, just kind of how your guys are as people, the character of your guys. I mean, I think that
you already said character, integrity, very important.
That's what sets it, because behind the scenes, they could be saying their things and doing their things with their teammates. And that's not the case with these guys. They kept it about the competition. And if anything, they supported each other above and beyond. And
respect, you hear the difference right there. And I just got to throw a little plug in there. I'm a Vikings fan. You know what's going on with the Vikings, JJ McCarthy, etc. You saw how that was some bullshit on top of bullshit with that whole quarterback competition, allegedly. But Kalen Deboer, what he said right there, the players, teams, personnel, man. Even though it was competition, even the quarterbacks respected each other. Had a certain level of respect for each other as well, right? And ultimately, we know the players probably picked. But totally different from the Minnesota Vikings situation, straight up. A player was given the job. He didn't earn or take the job or win the job. That's the difference. Keelan Russell went out there and won it. That's why he's your QB1. Respect to him and Austin Mack, both of them. Is Keelan Russell a freshman? No, he's a sophomore, Holden. He's a sophomore, brother. Let's get it, man. Let's work. Here we go. Let's get back to it.
I'd expect that to be the case, and that's what it's looked like here these last 2 days.
What did Keelan do to win the job?
Well, I think, first of all, I'll just preface that every time you say these things about one guy, it feels like the other guy is not that. And we have two.
Right. Never forget it. Respect to Austin Mack once again. A real dog, a real talent. He will get his opportunity sometime, somewhere. But Keelan is the better man right now. But respect to him and his sportsmanship off the rip. Like I say, pay attention. Totally different situation in Minnesota right now.
Elite quarterbacks in my mind, and two guys that you can go to battle with. I am extremely excited, though, with what, to answer your question, what Keelan can do, with this offense moving forward and what he brings to the table. Again, just focusing on Keelan's part, and what I think he's continued to do is he's continuing to feel comfortable with offense, the command of the offense, the execution. He's done a better job at the more and more reps, as you'd expect, taking care of the football.
So he's gotten better. He's progressed year after year, week after week, etc. Spring ball to training camp, he's been a better quarterback. And you saw it. You saw it in the 8-day game. That's when he pretty much took it over or had the slight edge right there. but he's been building on that, building on that. And like you said, he was better, showed more growth, and showed he could really run the offense.
Balancing that with the ability to still be explosive and not be too conservative. And so, I think both guys grew in those areas, but I'm just really excited to see what KEELON can do with the offense moving forward.
What kind of progress do you see from Noah Rogers just this year?
Noah's had the chance to get on the field the last few days, and going back to the spring game, 8A, when the injury happened, the timeline that he was on, and what we expected, he is much ahead of that. And that's a tribute to his just like mindset, his positivity. From the time he was diagnosed, he was still up here, and just was not going to let it deter him from continuing to move forward and make the most of every day he could. And he's done that. Our team just celebrated him being back out here and moving around. He's not doing team drills or anything like that, but he's making a progression, and he's much ahead of schedule from what we originally thought.
What is next for KEELON in terms of development and what you want to talk about?
Few days, and going back to the spring game, 8A, when the injury happened, the timeline that he was on, and where we
I believe he asked him about Noah Rogers. Hold on, let me run it back a little bit. 1 second.
focusing on KEELON's part, and what I think he's continued to do is he's continuing to feel comfortable with the offense, the command of the offense, the execution. He's done a better job at the more and more reps, as you'd expect, taking care of the football, balancing that with the ability to still be explosive and not be too conservative. And so, I think both guys grew in those areas, but I'm just really excited to see what KEELON can do with the offense moving forward.
What kind of progress do you see from Noah Rogers just this year?
Noah's had the chance to get on the field the last few days, and going back to the spring game, 8A, when the injury happened, the timeline that he was on, and what we expected, he is much ahead of that. And
So that's great news for Noah Rogers. Noah Rogers, transfer portal guy, came over from NC State, got injured during the 8-day game. So he was making noise. He probably would be one of your top 3 receivers first game. So him going down, definitely a loss for Bama, but it's good to hear he's ahead of schedule, way ahead of schedule, matter of fact.
that's a tribute to his